Hello everybody, this is Janice, and today I'm going to be showing you this double Dutch card that I learned from Beata Johns on the Split Coast Stampers YouTube channel. I love it. It's called Double Dutch Card, and it's cool because it opens like this. Alright, the first thing I'm going to show, this is going to be a two-part card video. I'm going to show you the window part and how I did it and all of that, and then I'll do part two and I'll show you how to do the card, which is really quite simple. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so number one, what I did was I went into my Cricut, into my Gypsy, and I cut out this window, which is from the Sweet Tooth boxes, and off the top of my head I don't remember what size I cut it at, so I'll put it down in the description, the size that I cut this from the Sweet Tooth boxes. It cuts two out, and I hid all the other contours because it cuts the door and other windows and little details for the Sweet Tooth box. And then I ran it through the wood grain embossing folder from Hobby Lobby, and then I lightly went over the window with my vintage photo, and then that's how I did the window. Now this one is craft. Okay, when I did this one, the window actually fell apart as I ran it through the embossing folder. I held it together enough to kind of go over the embossing folder, the embossing with the vintage photo. But yeah, the craft paper fell apart because it's just recollections paper, so maybe it's just the way that paper's made. So anyway, I decided not to cut it out of that again because that was kind of a pain. And then another thing I need to do, which I meant to do beforehand, was to take my little foam adhesive pieces and put them on the window. So I should have done this beforehand because this isn't very interesting. Alright, but that's what you have to do in order for it to pop up. And if you wanted to put acetate behind it to give it a glass look, you could do that. You could make it into a shaker card and put glitter in it. Lots of different ideas. If only I had. I wish this was my job and I could do this all day. But I just fit this in because I like it and because it's part of, I consider it therapy for myself. So I don't have a lot of time, but I do make time for this because it's just how I stay sane. You know what I mean, right? Okay, now I need to figure out where I want to stamp this little guy because I want to show you how I did this. Okay, and it's basically a masking technique. So I'm going to use the VersaFine black ink, and I'm using my Snowman with Birdies from Stampers Best. Loving this, these stamps, and I think I'm going to go right here, and hopefully kind of want them to be, and I can always trim the paper to fit. Okay, so there's that. Now what we want to do is color him in. I'll show you. I used something I had for a very long time, watercolor pencils from Stampin' Up, and I've started using that again. And I used this red one, and then this pretty blue, and then orange for the carrot nose. going to color. I need to sharpen this pencil. All you do is just literally color them in like you would anything. I think I want to get those Inktense markers. Christina Warner was using them in her video the other day, and they look really cool. I just want to get the 12, you know, just to see if I really like them. But man, they're expensive. I went to Michael's and they do have them there. I know Simon Says Stamps sells them, but I don't like to pay for shipping if I don't have to, you know. And I don't have to because I have a craft store very close by. So it makes no sense to do that. But it probably doesn't make any sense to even buy them because I have these. So I'm just kind of talking myself out of it each time. Okay, so I really love that. And then we're going to get our little detail water brush with not a lot of water. I'm not squeezing it at all. I'm just kind of very lightly touching it because we don't need a lot of water. We just want to make it look nice and smooth. And that's about it for that. And I'm going to do the carrot nose, and I didn't clean my brush, but that's okay because it's orange. But now I'm going to the blue, so I just keep a cloth nearby and clean it off there. And I'm sorry if I talk softly sometimes because, like, right now I'm doing this in the early hours of the morning when my family's sleeping, so I try not to wake them up. Okay, so we're done with that part. And then what I did was I stamped the same little guy on a sticky note, and we're going to mask him because we want to create the woods behind him. He's a little snowman out in the woods, having a great day with the birds. Okay, so he's masked off. And I'm thinking that's another thing I would really like to invest in is some masking paper, because I don't have any, and I'm thinking that would probably be a good idea, seeing as I've been doing a lot of masking lately. Okay, so we're going to get this, and we need a piece of scrap paper. Just going to get a piece of notebook paper that I have in the trash, and what else? I think that's it. Oh, and my little foam piece that I like to put underneath. Okay, and then I have this stamp that I've had for a long time. I don't know where I got it. I just discovered it in my stash recently. I've been shopping my stash. Alright. And oh, and the ink is Pine Needles Distress Ink. We're just going to go here and stamp it. And then, before I ink it again, I'm just going to go here and stamp again. And then here, stamp again. And you can get several layers so that it looks like there's these woods behind him. And because some of it has gone here, it's kind of uneven. Some of the ink has gone on the mask and some hasn't. The the ink on the stamp is uneven. So I'm going to even it out here. And then I'm going to go here. And just really very random. And that's it. Okay, and then we're going to take our little mask off. And there, you see our little scene. And then this is going to go right here somewhere. I really want his little face in the window. So we just gotta trim this. Now, if you want to, just take a pencil beforehand and just draw lines so you know where to cut. My finger was in the way. And then I'm going to trim it off with my little paper trimmer here. It kind of needs to be trimmed on the top maybe, or the bottom, I'm not sure, let's see. Yeah, you just gotta fiddle with it until it's where you want it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, that's it. So let's take this off. I put this window on top, and then we're going to add some stickles to make some of the parts pop. And then we're going to do part 2, which is just the card part. I really love these window ideas because they remind me of when I lived in Massachusetts. We had windows. Our living room there was so bright and cheery, and because the windows were huge, and I would just sit on my couch sometimes and just look out those windows to the snow outside, and we had these birds, and just wonderful to watch. So cup of coffee, cup of cocoa, cup of hot soup, just sit in front of the window. I could sit there forever. Okay, and that's it. So let's add the stickles. I'm going to use the diamond stickles. I'm just going to add it to the little red bird. My little cardinal. I'm going to say they're cardinals. And there's one behind here, which you can barely see. But you could always do this ahead of time. That's what I did before, but I didn't have that kind of time. And then his little ear muff. And these super little these little hearts. You can make some cute love cards with this. Because, you know, snowmen aren't just for Christmas. They're good for any time of year. Well, you know, winter, I guess. Okay, so that is the window part. I'm going to stop the video and do part 2 and show you how I did the card part. Stay tuned.